Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is John J Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of the Gore Pirates Dynasty using that Oklahoma high school football mod, and also, of course, this is on NCAA 14. We have just suffered our very first loss of the season, but the good news is we do get to come back home. But we are starting sectional play, though. We are going to be taking on the Collinsville Cardinals. The Collinsville Cardinals are a solid squad, man. They are a C+ overall team. B- is across the board. They also have a solid 3-1 record as well. But the Oklahoma high school football community, they are actually going to be rocking with us. I am just as surprised as you are. But, yo, we're hoping to come out here to start 4A play and hoping that we can come out on top to start this sectional play, because we are coming off a pretty bad loss, whereas Collinsville, they are coming off of a 2-game winning streak themselves. So they have been playing some good ball, and we're gonna have to play some high level play on both sides of the ball. We have to play better than last week if we want to have a legit shot of winning this thing. So hopefully we can come out, we can get this thing taken care of. Let's see if our guys are capable of getting it done. But hope you guys are excited for this game, man. I'm certainly am. If you are, make sure you go ahead, smack that like button, hit that subscribe button as well if you happen to be brand new to the channel. And without further ado, I'll catch you guys on the field for the start of 4A action. Let's get it. So our offense actually lost a coin toss, so we are going to start with the football. Let's see if our offense can come out here and set a tone, starting with a nice little toss play out to the right-hand side, and that is a nice little cut there by Vita St. Louis. Vita St. Louis will pick up a gain of 6 and make this a more manageable third down, but the last thing that we want to have is to go 3 and out on our very first possession of the game. So we'll have Caden Dolman throw for his 3rd and 6 and throws a nice ball out to Danico Fala Jr. He'll pick up a gain of 15 yards there, and he will pick up the first down. But we'll see if we can try to keep things going. We try another toss play, this time out to the left-hand side, but Lil Funk is going to blow that play out as he just gets good penetration into our backfield there. So yet another 3rd down that we're going to have to deal with against a good Collinsville team, as Dolman's going to drop back on a 3rd and 15, looking over the middle, and that's Danico Jr. Let's go, baby! Danico Fala is going to pick up yet another 1st down for us. He's made some big plays for us through the air already, and now we are in Collinsville territory. We still want to try to establish that ground game. That is the foundation of our offense. We want to control this clock as much as humanly possible, and we're doing a good job of that. Already a few minutes off of the first quarter, but we got to pick up this 1st down yet again. 3rd and short where we want to be, and we're going to do a toss play to right inside, but Carl Durant, he gets blown up in the backfield by Blake Gilkey, and with us being out in a little bit of no man's land territory, we're going to go ahead and go for it here. 4th and 7. We'll see if we can get Collinsville to be aggressive, but they are on us on the halfback screen. And Vita St. Louis, well, he is going to have nowhere to go. So a drive that takes up half of the first quarter doesn't even end in any points. You absolutely hate to see it. So now Collinsville will take over for the very first time today. And the first couple of plays for Collinsville have gone for a minimal gain. But on 3rd and 9, it's going to throw over the middle to Hudson Henslick. He's actually one of the few players on this Collinsville team that actually does play on both sides of the ball. But yeah, man, this Collinsville team is trying to put together a little bit of a drive. But Cairo Cox almost puts an end to it right away. That's why he plays on that defensive line. He does not have those hands like Allstate. And now it's 3rd and 11. Rush looking over the middle of the field. It's going to dump it off to Zach Stein. He picks up a good chunk of yards, but it's not for a 1st down. Collinsville also feeling lucky. They are going to go for it on 4th and 3. Dropping back, looking around, trying to get to the 1st down marker. And Edwin Waters cannot get there in time. And Collinsville will extend the drive. They'll go ahead and pick up the 1st down. Their next play, after the successful 4th down conversion, they'll go ahead and run with their quarterback, Caden Rush, once again. He's It's been a little bit of a threat on the ground. Like many quarterbacks in high school football, you tend to see most of high schools in the state of Oklahoma put some of their better athletes at the quarterback position, and Caden Rush is no exception to that, as their tight end 45 is going to get involved to put Collinsville in the red zone for the first time today. We'll see if that can turn into points as Rush will drop back, look over the middle, and finds Hudson Henslick in the end zone. Touchdown, Cardinals! And Collinsville will strike first here late in the first quarter of action. 2 methodical drives, but only one's going to come away with points, and it's not us. So we will take a quick break to get some studio updates from around the state of Oklahoma. How about Stillwater, a team that we went up against earlier this season, going head-to-head with the Union High School kids, a top 10 matchup out there. And then you got Millwood, number 9 in the state of Oklahoma, in a tight one with Sand Springs. Sand Springs looking for a big-time upset. We will see Millwood late in the season as they are part of the 4A sectional play as well. But our offense comes back out onto the field, trying to build what we've done on the first possession, except actually come away with points. And I think the key is, listen, we got to get Caden Doman on the ground. They have really keyed in on making sure that Caden Doman doesn't get those runs on the ground. Finally gets a chance to pop one off there for a gain of 20. We'll see if this opens up our play action game, as we will set up the play action. Doman doesn't like what he sees downfield, so he's going to scramble yet again. And he'll get himself out of bounds as well, picking up a first down in the process. But quickly, we'll run to the line of scrimmage to try to get this play off before the end of the first quarter. Got a man downfield, and it's going to be Jake Durant, the undersized tight end that's full of heart, makes the catch. And that means we are looking at the end of the first quarter right away. Collinsville is ahead, but we're trying to put together a drive ourselves. But let's see if we can finish this strong drive that we have thus far, as we seek to set up yet another play action. This time, throwing it quickly over the middle to Beef Wellington. And Beef Wellington will nearly pick up the first down. They will mark us just shy. But I don't mind being in these second and short, third and short situations, because we have a decent ground game here at Gore High School. And Vita St. Louis certainly shows that. He's had a hard time getting that ground game going and finding a rhythm, but he does pick up the first down for us there. And hopefully we can pick up a couple more first downs so that we can actually go about tying this game up as we face another 3rd and 6. Doman's going to be in the shotgun, got trips to the right. Doman's going to snap the ball real quick, looking around, lets the zone settle in, and eventually finds Danico Fala Jr. for the first down. Puts us in a goal line situation where a couple of plays later, Doman's going to roll to the right and find the backup tight end in Joe Mitchell. Caden Doman has been excellent in the passing game today. He's been efficient, and finally that is rewarded with a passing touchdown. So we now have a tie ball game, but we'll take a quick break to get another studio update. And how about Edmond Santa Fe looking to pull an upset off against the Washington Warriors? And Edmond Santa Fe is up 7-0 early in that second quarter. And then Stillwater is trying to open things up against Union. They now have a 4-point lead over the Union Hurricanes. So now Collinsville will take over as they'll try to retake the lead on their following possession. They had a false start on the previous play, so it's going to be a 1st and 15 instead of 1st and 10. Although that will not matter because Gregory, he's out in the open field, and Vince Gregory picks up 25 on his very first touch of the day. I believe that is just in time that eventually got him out of bounds. He was not in time there. So a first down for the Cardinals, as the Cardinals will pick up a big gain here initially. But then there's actually a clipping penalty, so we catch a little bit of a break. We're going to get Zach Stein for the penalty. It'll be 1st and 16 coming up. So the first down is wiped away there. And now we'll run it back. A longer first down situation. Then we'll have him brought down the backfield. That is Cairo Cox with his second TFL of the day. And now 2nd and long, actually 3rd and long upcoming after a minimal loss on the previous play. 3rd and 21, so just trying to play a little bit of prevent defense. Rush looking over to the right-hand side, trying to set up the screen. But Chad Magyar is going to have absolutely nowhere to go. He will be dropped in the backfield by an optimistic Gore Pirates defense. So they had to punt the football away, and we have a few minutes left to work with ourselves. So we open things up, trying to see if we get an open seam pattern to Jackson Durant. And Durant is off to the races. He picks up 28. Nobody picking him up the seam. It's an easy read for that senior quarterback. And speaking of easy reads, Carl Durant will get his 3rd chance to get the ball. He hasn't been able to get much going today himself, but at the very least, he has been able to pick up 5 yards there, and it will set up an eventual 1st down for Vita St. Louis. 1st and 10 coming up after that conversion as we keep it on the ground. Vita St. Louis going to cut it back inside. And Vita St. Louis getting another 5 yards a pop. Hasn't had the big run yet today, but he's starting to find a rhythm on the ground. However, a minimum loss on the next play makes it 3rd and 6. Trying to go with the screen pattern, and that's nearly intercepted. Beef Wellington, how about him keeping the concentration to make a play on the ball still? And it's now a 1st and goal coming up, where Caden Doman's going to get a little bit of a convoy and is untouched on the way to the end zone. Touchdown Pirates. And Gore is going to take their 1st lead of the day, courtesy of Caden Doman, who gets his 2nd total touchdown of the evening. But Collinsville still has all of their timeouts. We'll see what they do with it, as they'll start off the next possession by throwing it out to 45. 45 will pick up the 1st down, but they're actually going to go into their no huddle instead of using their timeouts. They are certainly trying to catch us off balance as we get set up. Thankfully, no offsides penalty, but Hanswick gets out into the open field. Great tackle there by Justin Tyne. That was a big time play. So that prevents the 1st down, and that clock is certainly running as they'll throw again over to the left-hand side. The 45 going to make a quick catch out of the backfield. But now the Cardinals are only down to 1 timeout. So means how they play the rest of this drive is going to be critical. And Vince Gregory makes another catch that sets up a 1st down for the Cardinals. They got to go quick, but they're refusing to spike, though, as Caden Rush gets his guys out into a play real fast. 4 wide set. Rush going to try to scramble out of the pocket. Gets away from one defender. And it's brought down before the 1st down marker. So that clock is going to start running now as the time becomes very critical. We do not get set up very well this time around, and it sets up a bigger play for Zach Stein, who now gets the Cardinals into the red zone. Just in time makes the play, but I mean, he was out of position there on that man coverage. So probably a couple of shots in the end zone for the Cardinals that they are going to have, as Caden Rush choosing to run. This is risky, because if he didn't pick up the 1st down, they would have had to settle for the field goal for sure. But now they have one definitive shot at the end zone. Caden Rush has to be aware of the time. Rush makes a play, clock still running, dropping back, and he's brought down with 1 second left. And that means the Cardinals can use their final timeout, and they will trot out their field goal kicker for what will be the very last play of that 1st half. The field goal is good. We do get one studio update, though, as Edmond Santa Fe, well, they're still hanging tough with the Washington Warriors. The 19th ranked team in the state of Oklahoma, according to Max Preps, is on the ropes right now against Edmond Santa Fe. But that will take us into the 2nd half, as your Gore Pirates will have a 4-point lead. So now we go ahead and jump into the 2nd half of action, as the Collinsville Cardinals, since they defer to the 2nd half, they will choose to receive. As we go ahead, hang on now, we got a big return to start the 2nd half. It is Courtney Reese that nearly gets the Cardinals out to midfield. And the Cardinals with a golden opportunity to take the lead here in this second half of action. We start with a 3rd and short coming up as Caden Rush could be doing anything. It's going to be a run up the gut for Magyard, and it was solid rush defense. It really was, but Chad Magyard is going to do just enough to pick up the first down. And the Collinsville Cardinals, they have been effective on 3rd downs this year. They're 3 for 5 today, though. Rush looks over to the middle of the field and finds his safety blanket in Zach Stein. And Zach Stein will have his 3rd catch of the day. And that was the thing and the common theme of this particular drive. Collinsville putting together a methodical possession, but not doing a lot on 1st and 2nd downs. However, on 3rd downs, they become a different team, and they nearly complete that as well. Dalton Barrettine was on the coverage there. So the Cardinals will settle for, looks like about a 45-yard field goal attempt. They actually do snap it, and shout out to that kicker for actually sinking that through. That's not easy for a high school kicker. But we do get a studio update, and Stillwater is going to get a big-time win against Union, 31-24. And also Edmond Santa Fe, they could be poised to pull off a big upset in the state of Oklahoma as well. We'll certainly keep an eye on that to see if we get any more studio updates throughout this game on the Edmond Santa Fe matchup. But we have our own game to worry about, though, as our lead is cut down to just one singular point. Would love to see this offense respond, though, as Doman looks to the right. He had Beef Wellington open, but because he was throwing on the run, that leads to an incompletion. So that's his first play of the incompletion of the day. But he makes up for it by throwing a dot to Jake Durant, though. Now, I'm not sure if he ended up getting a foot down or not, so before the refs could get together, we're going to get to the line of scrimmage quickly. We do get the snap off, and while we don't pick up any yards, and usually I don't show any plays for minimum game, that was just good awareness there by Caden Doman, so that the officials cannot confer on that. So, the play will stand, but we got to convert a 3rd and 7, and Caden Doman comes through with a dime to Jody Gentry, who's been pretty quiet today, but we're going to try to get him his first pass, his touchdown. Oh, no, he drops it. You hate to see it. A receiver with a chance to score, and he drops it. Oh, you hate to see it. But it won't hurt us on the scoreboard ultimately, as Carl Durant will find his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Pirates. So we do get the answer that we are looking for all along. But now we're checking in on the Cardinals, who still have a chance to tie this game up, even with the touchdown we just scored. And Collinsville has been moving the ball pretty well in their last few drives. It just hasn't led to a significant amount of points yet. Hopefully we can continue to keep it that way. This bend but don't break mentality, as Caden Rush will run for another 5 yards there, living up to his last name. He's carried the ball 11 times today. We'll see if they call the quarterback's number yet again on this 3rd and 3. And it looks like they are actually going to have an option, and they do keep it for Caden Rush. If he had decided to pitch that ball, that could have gone for a lot more yards. So count our lucky stars that he wanted to play a little bit on the selfish side there, because now we still have a chance to stop this team. But we got a good one here going into the final quarter of action. Your Gore Pirates do have the lead, but Collinsville is looking to change that soon. So here we are, 4th quarter of action. Can the Gore Pirates hang on and win here in the 4A sectional? We got Magner going to get the carry up the gut, and Chad Magyard is going to pick up the first down there on the ground, making it 1st and 10 coming up. As now, Rush is going to drop back the pass. He's going to take his time, though, and drops it off to Zach Stein, who's in the open field, and Zach Stein able to pick up 11 there on the play. As now, 3rd and 11 coming up here as Rush needs a big-time throw once again. Simmons trying to get to this quarterback, but throws it right inside and finds Zach Stein in the end zone. Touchdown, Cardinals. Caden Rush has been playing some effective football all day long, and now only a two-point conversion separates them from a tied ball game. However, a false start on the 2-point conversion means they start from the 7 instead of the 2. And with that halfback draw, we snuff it out easily. And look at that. We get another studio update on Edmond Santa Fe. They're blowing out number 19 Washington. This is a massive surprise. In Edmond Santa Fe, they're not playing any games right now. So here we are in the fourth quarter of action here, as now we got 5.5 minutes left in the game. That almost gets intercepted though. Looks like Caden Dolman just wanted to be a little bit too risky there. That could have gone horrifically wrong. But he does make up for it on the very next throw. Getting it out to Ryan Furabacher for a gain of 20. As now, Caden Dolman's going to go ahead and run the ball up the gut. Svita St. Louis nearly picking up the first down. And this is where we thrive as an offense. Just trying to come out, run some clock. If we can put up a touchdown on the board, it could very well be barbecue chicken for the Collinsville Cardinals. And Vita St. Louis, he's finally starting to get going here. He's been held to less than 3 yards a carry all day today. And Vita St. Louis now is starting to pick up some more yards. 6, 7, 8 yard runs. It's not pretty sometimes, but it is working though. As Cohen's going to go ahead and take the run himself. Will he stay in bounds though? No, he gets out of bounds. That could affect our clock management down the line, but a big run for Caden Dolman, the senior quarterback. He does at least pick up a brand new set of yards. So again, Caden Dolman will drop back to pass, looking over to the right-hand side, and it's going to be incomplete. Trying to find Jake Durant, but as the primary route, we'll see if we can find Jake Durant yet again. He takes a sack. Caden Dolman could not get out of the pocket, and they might have gotten to us with just 3 rushers. There was not a lot of a pass rush. They dropped 8 into coverage. So here we are, 3rd and 20. Just trying to pick up as many of those yards as possible. As Dolman drops back, doesn't like what he sees, so he's going to scramble yet again. He stays in bounds to allow his clock to run a little bit more. Would have liked him to slide just a little bit there. He did take a pretty unnecessary shot. And we are looking at a 4th and 10. So here we are, 4th and 10 coming up, trying to get this first down so that we can put it on ice. Dolman in the shotgun. He's going to allow this clock to run down just a little bit. We're going to look at this seam pattern for Jake Durant. It's been money all day. And when we snap this ball, we see him open. We fire, and Jake Durant drops it. Oh, we could have put the game on ice, but Jake Durant drops the ball. But the good news for us, though, is that Collinsville goes 3 and out, and they decide to punt it. So we were at least able to run the rest of his clock out. Thankfully, it didn't matter. But man, was this game a little bit too close for comfort. We find a way to get the win at the end of the day, as Gore is going to win this one 21-19, as we're able to secure our 4th win of the year. So in a game that turned out to be extremely evenly matched, I'm certainly glad that we were able to find a way to win this game at the end of the day. Relying on that methodical drive kind of concept, we were able to get it done by limiting the possessions that Collinsville was able to have over the course of this ball game. Now, Caden Dolman actually had yet another excellent game. The senior quarterback ends up going 15 for 20, 193 yards, and a passing touchdown. But it was his running that was very distinct in this game. They really tried their best to contain Caden Dolman, but they just couldn't do it. Yeah, on just 8 carries, he ends up with 52 yards and a touchdown on the ground. And while Vita St. Louis was our leading rusher in this one, he was far less efficient on the day. However, we did get a touchdown for Carl Durant, his first rushing touchdown of the entire season. Now, for the receivers, it was a bunch of different receivers getting involved today, but Danico Fowler Jr. led the team in catches today. He ended up with 4 catches for 52 yards, alongside Beef Wellington, who had a solid stat line. And then Jake Durant actually led the team in receiving yards today. He ended up with 64, knows how to kill other teams with those seam patterns, And of course, Joe Mitchell gets his very first receiving touchdown of the season. It was a 1 yard, it was a 1 catch that wasn't technically for a single yard, but it adds points on the scoreboard, which ultimately ended up being the difference. Now, I thought defensively, we also played much better as well, which is nice to see that they really helped us propel to victory. Adrian Waters was a linebacker that flew all over the field today. He ended up with 8 tackles and a TFL in the game, followed by Justin Time, who spent a considerable amount of time, no pun intended, in the box. He ends up with 6 tackles to himself. And again, did not force any turnovers. So the lack of takeaways has been an issue with our team. But we got to the quarterback just enough today. Brandon Berry was able to get in and force a sack. And then Cairo Cox was able to get a big sack before the end of the first half. It allowed Collinsville to just accept a field goal instead of punching it into the end zone and tying it at the half. That turned out to be extremely huge for our guys. But either way, we're coming out as winners as we get back to our winning ways after dropping our previous ball game. So it feels good to be able to come out and get yet another win. But next time out, we will take on one of our hated rivals. Next episode, your Gore Pirates are going to be hosting our arch rivals in Drumright. And while Drumright hasn't had the same kind of success that we've had this season, that being said, you never know what could happen in these rivalry games. So we got to get up and be prepared for what this Drumright team has in store for us. But it's been a fun one here once again, as the Gore Pirates have been able to get another win. And I hope in general you've been able to enjoy this episode and this series. If you enjoyed both of those things, I would totally appreciate it if you go ahead and smack that like button for me, as that helps me out with that vaunted YouTube algorithm. And then of course also hit that subscribe button as well if you do happen to be brand new to the channel. This is John J Gaming on the mic signing off. Hoping you guys are all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.